welcome back to Art Therapy with Jenn. Today I'm working in my Dark Dystopian themed magazine collage art journal. And if this is your first time tuning into this series on my channel, what I do is each week I do a new page in the journal that is a chapter that explores a story inside this dark dystopian themed world. So it's like an art journal, a glue book, but with a fun kind of imagination and storytelling side to it as well. And this week we're doing chapter 11, and I'm really curious to see what comes out. Now, if you haven't seen one of my pages before, how I usually start in these type of journals is I start with my background. So I've gone through my stash, pulled out anything that kind of speaks to me, and I just kind of intuitively put it on the page, get some glue on my hands, and just have some fun with it. Now for this page, it was a lot of cold colors with this lemony cool tone yellow mixed in, and I just kind of go and place things on the page and see where we go. So a lot of these like metal tones, these sharp lines, lots of blue, very, very cold, almost clinical, if you will. And I just lay everything out around my desk, and I just pick stuff up and see if it is meant to go on the page. So let's take a look at our background. That's going to be the jumping off point of this chapter. It's interesting. So I wonder what characters are going to go on here. So I found this image in my stash, which I just find really striking. It's like these two robots, but they almost look incomplete, kissing. And I don't know, it's very haunting, not quite uncanny valley, but definitely something. It makes you think, because robots probably wouldn't do that unless they were commanded to do so, don't you think? And then I ran across this image in my stash with this woman. She looks like she's in anguish, kind of reaching out. And then I fussy cut this image from a skincare article where someone's holding up her chin with a gloved hand. And it just, I don't know, they're all very striking together. I'm not sure where it's going. But let me go through my word stash and let's see if we can add a narrative to this chapter. So I've gone through my word stash and I've just laid things around the desk. And we're going to start at the top left page. It says, "What every girl should know." That's interesting. And then below that to the left, we have "The truth is clear, ... Maybe this goes back to more of the factory that we've talked about in previous chapters. Maybe this is kind of the origin or the inspiration behind it. And then this is in quotes. It says, "You can keep resisting it, but I'm on the right side of this." Now, I want to keep the quotes in there because I imagine it's somebody who's facilitating this, telling this to this girl. He thinks he's on the right side of this, or maybe she thinks she's on the right side of this. And then I found this really large agony that's in really bold red font. So it really stands out from the page. We don't really have any other red on there, so definitely not a fun place to be in this chapter. And then under agony, I have "down to a science." So on this page, we have "What every girl should know," "The truth is clear," and then in quotes, "You can keep resisting it, but I'm on the right side of this." And then we have agony and "down to a science." What y'all think so far for this page? Definitely some not so warm and fuzzy things going on. And then if we go to the top right page, it says "Get on board." And it's right beside this house, this house with the yellow walls? Y'all think something special about that house? And then next, right above the robots, we're going to put, no masterpiece comes without a little madness. It does look like there's some madness going on. And then I'm going to Frankenstein two pieces together, which when I say that, I just mean I take words from separate pages and put them together to make new words or new phrases. So first I'm putting down, and this is in red as well, which I find interesting. It says, robots were always going to be a thing. And then I'm adding to that a separate piece to go with it. And a machine is just too perfect. And that is also in quotes. So robots were always going to be a thing. And a machine is just too perfect. And then we have, to finish it out on the bottom left of the right page, the ultimate solution. So, and I don't know if it means anything yet. Like I said, all these pages are open to interpretation. There's no right or wrong answer. But the ultimate solution, the font is written in that very specific green that's in the background of what every girl should know. So I find that an interesting coincidence. And that might lead to something deeper. So now, y'all know I like to doodle and go on. So I'm getting out this Sharpie. And this was the only Sharpie I had by my desk. And it's like this really fancy stainless steel Sharpie I forgot I had. And it has this really nice, precise point. I kind of felt bad using it on an art page. It's kind of fancy. Kind of wonderful too. But I'm just going around and I'm highlighting and scribbling around some of the words. And then I like to go in with a white gel pen and kind of scribble on top of the black marker that I just laid down. I don't know. I like doing it and I like the look it gives. So I'm going to keep on doing it. I love scribbling and doodling. One of my most favorite things to do. And like here, I'm taking the white gel pens. I did it on the image of the girl that shaded pink up there. And I'm taking a black gel pen and I'm doing the same thing around the robots, highlighting around the robots with the pen, and then before it dries I'm smudging it out, like smoking it out with my thumb, so that these robots, they almost look like they're in someone's mind, if that makes sense. Like they're not reality yet. Perhaps they're someone's dream they wish to attain. Maybe their masterpiece that comes with their madness, that they can't see how mad it is. I don't know if that makes sense. Then I signed it, and this is chapter 11. I don't know, y'all. What should I call this chapter? The ultimate solution? Get on board? Agony? A little madness? I don't know. Y'all will see in the title once this video goes up. But what do y'all think about this page? I'm kind of like, with these pages, I think they're so fun, and with everybody's journals and everything, you can kind of get in here and I almost see different aspects to the little chapters, or different thoughts, especially after you all comment and give your own thoughts, and I see things from a different perspective. It's just always really, really interesting to me. I don't know. I'm thinking, and I don't know if this has to do with the factory or something completely separate, but I'm thinking perhaps these robots kind of represent a masterpiece that someone is trying to create, or they're always trying to create, and maybe the ultimate solution is they have to bring in some humans, if you will, and because it says a machine is just too perfect, because you can't, all the sci-fi shows and the fantasy shows, that's the problem with a machine. They're more efficient than us, they're more productive, taking orders and all that, but you can't ever have a substitute for real human emotions, real human, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? So perhaps, in order to obtain this masterpiece, and it's so important to whoever this is, perhaps our group from the last chapter, the authority, and it's so important to them that they're willing to go to a lot of extremes, or perhaps this is what they see the future should be for productivity, for maximizing, I don't know what, but something to think about. I also find it neat that and I didn't notice it until I was doing this voiceover, that yellow house is really highlighted. Who lives in that yellow house? Maybe somebody who's a little mad? I don't know. But again, thank y'all for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this chapter 11. Can y'all believe we're 11 chapters in? My goodness. And just to note too, I filmed these pages at different times. So if you see some of the clips and the lighting looks a little different or what have you, I do film them at different times. I've actually moved my desk and totally rearranged my little office back here in the last month or so. So you'll see things look a little slightly different with framing and light and stuff. It is not anything wrong with your device. That's just what it is. Sometimes I will do maybe like the background or maybe add the characters, and I'll let the page kind of sit and marinate for a little while, and then I'll come back and I'll be like, I know what needs to go on this page. You know, I'm going to put that in there too, because I feel like with how these videos are edited sometimes, it seems like I just look in my stash and I just laser focus and pick these images and just, point A to point B. And oftentimes that is really not the case. Every once in a while I get lucky and my creativity is just in full force and I can just go in there and dig in and just really do a page start to finish, boom, bang, boom. And most of the time I'm just a very process-driven person. I'm very methodical. You don't rush me, especially with art or anything. I like to really get my hands on the pieces, feel the pieces, really glue it down there and really just get a feel of it. Especially that's why these type of pages I'll do a voiceover afterwards, because I'm really concentrated and really getting them on there. But sometimes I have to let them sit and marinate a little bit and come back to them later, because my mind's just not in a space where I can put the characters on there, or it's not time to put the words on there yet, but when I get to it, it'll be there waiting for me, if that makes sense. So if you want to do a theme journal like this, I always like to put those things in there, because I think sometimes us as YouTubers, we edit things and, I edit out all the stuff where, placing different images down there to see if I like them, and then I usually just leave the ones in that I pick for time's sake and continuity and all that fun stuff. So just a note there. Sometimes I have to think. Now, some of my videos y'all do see that, but sometimes I really have to let my journal marinate. So I don't know if that's a technical art term, but there you go. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see y'all next week for chapter 12. And I'll be honest, it's a very interesting one, and it's a very big I think plot point or fun story chapter in this. So I hope y'all will tune in, and I'll see y'all then. Bye guys.